How's it going, you big beautiful bastards? Welcome back to another video. Today we are finally back with another sim. We are on Madden 26. It is launch day and we're going to simulate the 2025-2026 NFL season. So I'm starting us in the preseason because that's actually where we're at tonight. When I'm recording, this is the first night of the preseason. We're just going to sim to the regular season. We're going to check injuries because I did leave them on. You know, usually when we do the player sims, I turn injuries off, but we're not going to do that this time because preseason injuries do happen. Who knows? Maybe Aaron Rodgers just got hurt and now the Steelers are cooked. Or I mean, Will Howard's hurt right now in real life. So, injury report, let's see. Donald Parham, that's an actual injury, and they lost Jalen Warren, so that pushes Caleb Johnson immediately into the starting role. Can I look at the whole NFL from here? No. Okay, so we go team by team. Texans, no injuries. Roger McCreary, Tajay Spears, so they have no running backs. Josh Metellus for the Vikings. Grady Jarrett gets hurt for the Bears. He's only out 1 to 3 weeks, though. Is Jock still out in real life? Is that what this is? Or did he actually just get hurt in preseason and fracture his hip? I'm not entirely sure. Jordan Davis out for the Eagles. That's kind of a big deal, kind of not a huge one. Jalen Walker. So it looks like Abdul Carter's hurt already. Hold on. Oh, only week to week turf toe. The Panthers have no running backs for right now. That's kind of crazy. They didn't lose anybody else other than that. And okay. Jair is out for a while for the Ravens. Kyle Hamilton's also hurt. So how we're gonna do this one? I'm not going week to week. So like right now, I'm gonna simulate to week. It won't let me go to week 4, but I'm going to simulate to week 4. We're going to check out stats, see who's doing what. Yeah, so like we're going to go to week 4, then we're probably going to do week 8, and then we'll probably go to the last week of the regular season and see if they're see what the playoff picture is looking like, and then we'll do the playoffs. You know how the playoffs usually go. I'll skip the wild card round, but we will super sim every divisional game. So through 4 weeks, or 3 weeks, I guess technically in week 4, we still have 9 3-0 teams. You got the Niners, Colts, Cowboys, Commanders, Steelers, Jags, Bucks, Chiefs, and Rams. Who is not won a game up to this point? You have the Texans. The Eagles are 0-3. Giants, Panthers, Titans, Browns, Saints, and Bears. So a lot of these teams, like no one expects Philly to start 0-3. I don't see the Texans starting 0-3. The rest of these kind of believable, but I don't imagine the Titans do. I mean, it's possible. The Lions are 1-2. Stats leaders, Jordan Love leads the league in yards and touchdowns. Interceptions, it looks like Justin Herbert has 5. Justin Fields also has 5. Russell Wilson also has 5. Touchdowns, it's Jordan Love along with yards. We got that one already. So rushing, McCaffrey leads the league in yards with 300. Okay. Maybe a bounce back year for McCaffrey. Rushing touchdowns, Kyron Williams. I kind of expect that one, honestly. Javonte Williams, Trey Benson, and James Conner. Receiving leaders, that's Amari. I saw a Bengals logo and immediately said Jamar Chase. That's Amari Cooper as a Bengal. Okay. Terry McLaurin, Jacoby Myers, Tay Adams, Joshua Palmer. There's Jamar Chase. Touchdowns is Tyler Boyd for the Denver Broncos, and then Amon-Ra St. Brown, Brandon Ayuk. There's Amari Cooper again. So apparently he's popping off for the Bengals. Him and Jamar both have 3 touchdowns. Defensively, your sack leader, you got Khalil Mack, Max Crosby in 2nd, Jalen Phillips, Alex Highsmith is in 4th. There's Michael Williams, Jared Verse, Adafe Owe. Leading the league with interceptions is PQ with 3, and then there's 4 guys behind him with 2, with Nick Bolton, Darnell Savage, Trent McDuffie, Richie Grant. Just to look, longest field goal is Dicker the kicker and Cam Little, both hitting 57-yarders. And just like that, we'll simulate to midseason, and then we'll take a look again at some of the stats, see what's happening, look at the standings. In week 8, we can see both the Packers and Steelers are 5-1, so Jordan Love is still doing well. We'll look at our NFL standings, see how the Chiefs are the only undefeated team left at 7-0, because of course they are, because Madden, when they see the Chiefs logo, just Niners are 6-1, Colts are 6-1, Steelers, Packers, Bills. So there's a bunch of 5-1 teams. Is there anyone that hasn't won a game yet? The Panthers. The Panthers are 0-7. So the Bryce Young redemption tour is not happening. The Saints are the team that I expect to be 0-7 at this point in real life because their quarterback situation is horrible. Passing leaders, Joe Burrow is past Jordan Love, and so is Jaden Daniels. Mahomes is up here. There's Bo Nix, Matt Stafford, Jalen Hurts. Still leading in touchdowns, though, you have Jordan Love, followed by Mahomes, Bo Nix, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen. Who has thrown the most interceptions? It is still Justin Justin Fields, and there's Geno, Herbert, Bo Nix. Bo Nix is like 4th in touchdowns and 4th in interceptions. Michael Penix. Rushing, you still have McCaffrey with a commanding lead over the rest with 150 yards more than Breece Hall, K9, Jahmyr Gibbs, Saquon, Isaiah Pacheco, Derrick Henry. I'm surprised to see down here on 100 carries. He's only averaging 4.9. Touchdown leader still Kyron Williams. There's McCaffrey, Saquon, Najee Harris for the Chargers, Tony Pollard. There's Javonte Williams. Receiving, Jamar Chase has overtaken Amari Cooper, and he's ahead of everybody by 150 yards, but him and Amari Cooper combined are in the top 3 and both on the same team. And then you got Ayuk in 2nd in yards. You have Puka. Tyler Boyd is apparently having a hell of a season for Denver, where I think he's also still leading in touchdowns. Bo Nix has thrown 9 touchdowns to Tyler Boyd. Back to our defensive stats, we'll take a look at sacks. TJ Watt has taken the lead in sacks with 10.5, followed by Jalen Carter and Khalil Mack tied with 8. Quinnen Williams and Trayvon Walker at 7.5. Interceptions, Travis Hunter leads the league in interceptions with 4. That might happen. That's most likely your defensive rookie of the year. PQ still has 3. Trent McDuffie still has 3. There's Nate Hobbs, Marcus Jones, Kendall Fuller, all with 3, followed by Devin Witherspoon, Fred Warner with 2. And now we will simulate to the last week of the season. That just sims us to the playoffs. I wish I could set like which week we sim to, but I guess I'll just go one by one and get us to the last week before the playoffs hit. Going into the last week of the season, you can see this game's going to be for the division, 10-6 and 11-5. We'll take a look at the rest of the division, see who's leading what. We go over here, AFC North. The Ravens have clinched a playoff spot. The Steelers are 1 game out and could take the division from them with a win. Texans, Jags, and Colts are all 9-7, and the Titans are 8-8. So the AFC South really picked it up this year. About to have all teams over 500 most likely. Bills clinched their division. It looks like Justin Fields turned it around with the interceptions and has the Jets in position to make the playoffs. Chiefs clinched the number 1 seed. Chargers are fighting for a wild card spot. Broncos don't make the playoffs and the Raiders don't either. On the NFC side, the Packers have clinched their division. The Lions look like they're fighting for a wild card spot. They haven't been eliminated yet at 9-7. The 9-7 Bucks look like they should win their division pending what Atlanta does with Michael Penix. Commanders and Cowboys have both clinched a playoff spot, but they are fighting for their division here in week 18. Niners clinched their division, and the Rams are probably fighting for a wild card spot here. So we will sim to the wild card round. We'll see which one of those teams gets in, which one of those gets home field advantage. That's a rough week to watch. It would have been hard to go back and forth between all those games. It's already a little complicated to try and watch all the games because I got to retire coaches in the middle of things, and they get a rematch. The Steelers lose 27-13 in the last game of the season to the Ravens, and they get a rematch against Baltimore in the first round in Baltimore. Looking at the playoff bracket, the Chiefs and the Niners get the number 1 seeds. Bills at the 2, playing the Jaguars, who barely snuck in as a 7. Ravens are the 3, Steelers are the 6, and the Steelers are most likely going to be first round exits like always. Texans and Chargers are 4 and 5. The Packers are the 2 seed, playing the Lions, an NFC North game there to start the wild card round. And then on top of that, Washington ended up beating Dallas to get home field advantage in the playoffs, and they will play the Rams. Dallas ended up the 5 seed and will play Tampa. And so we will simulate wildcard weekend, and then we will jump in and we will super sim every divisional game. And the Steelers end up beating the Ravens 23-14 to move on to the divisional round, while they'll play the Chargers. In the divisional round, you got Chargers, Steelers, Chiefs, Jacksonville, Rams and Niners, and then the Bucks and Packers. So first, since we're already on the Steelers, we'll start here and we'll super sim this game first. Steelers, after it's been 8 years since we won a playoff game, and they finally get one. So here we'll super sim this game, and then we'll jump around to the other teams and see what happens. We go jumping through. Nobody scored yet. Steelers take an early 3-0 lead, 10-0 over the Chargers. Now it's 10-7, 17-10. Steelers 17-17 here in the fourth. The Chargers have the ball, and we will sit here and we will watch this. Chargers with the ball, 1st and 10, coming off of a touchback in a tie game. What does Justin Herbert have? Is he able to move on to the AFC Championship game, or is the Steelers defense going to be too much? Right away, almost intercepted by Jalen Ramsey. Dropping back once again, Herbert finds Quentin Johnston over the middle, but he ends up short. It's a 3rd down. Steelers have 3 timeouts. Chargers are running no huddle. Herbert in the shotgun is going to run play action. He has all day back there. He's going to heave up a bomb to a receiver that's covered, and it's batted away by, who's that, Darius Slay? Darius Slay does that, forces the Chargers to punt, and gives Aaron Rodgers an opportunity with the ball to send the Steelers to the AFC Championship game. The punt was almost blocked. A couple guys almost made it through the middle. Calvin Austin back there is going to just call a fair catch. That's not even Calvin standing back there. I click jump to next play, so we'll watch one play, then I have to do it again. Rodgers comes out in the shotgun. Jaylen Warren to his right. He is going to drop back to throw. He has time, and he's going to throw it underneath where it's caught by, who is that? Who's 16? I hit jump to next play again, so we're just in the same exact spot. Who is 16 on this offense? I have no idea. Rodgers in the shotgun again, dropping back, has no time. Khalil Mack's on him, throws on the run, and hits DK, who gets them up to midfield breaking tackles. Trips to the left for Rodgers. Jaylen Warren in the backfield, dropping back, only needs about 20 yards, and he fumbles, and it's picked up by the offensive lineman. I think that was Isaac Samalu that saved the day there. Or no, that was Mason McCormick. Dropping back to throw again. Rodgers, quick throw to the outside to Freiermuth, gets them back to within midfield. It is now a 3rd and long in a crucial situation in a divisional round game. Rodgers from the shotgun, dropping back to throw. He has time back there. They only rush 3. He ends up having to throw it underneath to Calvin Austin, only get to midfield. So now they have to punt. I jumped in on the punt for a roughing the kicker call. Hold on, is that going to be an automatic first down? Chargers just sold and handed the Steelers a playoff game to go to the AFC Championship game. Aaron Rodgers in the shotgun, now from his own 35, following the penalty. Has time, is going to hit Jaylen Warren underneath to get them to the 30. He goes out of bounds. I don't know if the Chargers have one timeout left, so kind of sucks letting him go out of bounds there. From the 30, Boswell could hit this, but they're still probably going to try and gain some yards. Jaylen Warren goes around the outside and does not gain anything. Maybe a yard. He gained a yard. Forces the Chargers to use that last timeout, and now they can run the clock down and let Boswell kick the field goal. Well, never mind. Rodgers comes out 5 wide. We're not running the be audibles. Hold on. Jaylen Warren comes into the backfield, and now he's going to hand it off, I'm assuming. It's play action. Rodgers is going to throw to the outside, gain 2 yards. The Freiermuth at least staying in bounds, and now it comes down to Boswell for the kick to send the Steelers to the AFC Championship game for the first time since 2012. And it's good. And the Steelers are going to the AFC Championship game. So now we'll jump over to the Chiefs. I hope this doesn't auto-sim. It might. I don't know if I turn that off. I don't know if this is going to auto-sim the week. It does. No. Okay, so I messed that up a little bit. We'll look at the scores here in the stats from the other divisional round games. The Chiefs end up taking out the Jags 44-10. Mahomes throws 250 and 2 touchdowns. Trevor Lawrence threw 254 and a pick, no touchdowns. Isaiah Pacheco had himself a day, 12 carries for 137 yards and a touchdown. Kareem Hunt had 47 yards and a touchdown. Travis Etienne did have a touchdown and 31 yards rushing. Receiving, Diami Brown was the highest receiver in the game with 8 catches for 97 yards and no touchdowns. Kelsey, 7 catches, 87 yards and a touchdown. Rashee Rice had 53 and a touchdown. Xavier Worthy had 58 yards. Defensively in the game, Drew Tranquill, George Karlaftis, Jimmy Ward, and Justin Jones all had a sack or a half of one. The one interception of the game ended up being Noah Williams, the rookie. And so your AFC Championship game is going to be Chiefs and Steelers. The Niners and the Rams. The Rams end up taking down the Niners 24-21 with Stafford trying to repeat. Brock Purdy struggled with 122. He did throw 3 touchdowns and a pick, but only 122 yards. He was sacked 6 times in the game. Stafford had 329, 2 touchdowns, and 2 picks. Rushing, Jordan James led the game with 52 yards and no touchdowns. Kyron Williams had 51 yards rushing and a touchdown. Matt Stafford had 9 carries for 27 yards for some reason. Receiving, Puka had himself a day, 9 catches, 139, and 2 touchdowns. 2 receivers over 100 yards for the Rams, with Tay Adams having 8 catches for 100 yards. Ricky Pearsall had 5 for 59 and 2 touchdowns, and then the other Niners touchdown was to Brandon Ayuk. There should be another one. Didn't Purdy throw 3? Oh wait, no, Pearsall had 2. That's what it was. Yeah. Defensively, you had Kobe Turner with 2 sacks. Braden Fisk had 1.5. Omar Spates had 1. Alfred Collins had 1. Gross Matos had 1. Chris Paul had 1. I don't know why this 42-year-old NBA player is rushing the edge, but who knows? Then on the other NFC game, you had the Packers and Bucks. The Bucks won 24 244-14. Baker threw 254 and 3 touchdowns on his way to an NFC Championship game. Jordan Love 225 and a touchdown. Rushing, Josh Jacobs had 63 yards and a touchdown. Bucky Irving also had 63 yards but no touchdowns, and that was the only rushing touchdown in the game. Receiving, Matthew Golden led the game with 7 catches for 100 yards. Emeka Buka 4 catches for 88 yards and a touchdown. Mike Evans also had 4 catches but 56 yards and a touchdown, and the other touchdown was Keefe, an offensive lineman. So yeah, and now I fixed it where we will be able to watch both AFC Championship games. So let's get right into this. Let's see if Pittsburgh can take down the Chiefs, or if the Chiefs are going to another Super Bowl, and then we'll go over to the NFC side and we'll see what's going on with the Rams and Bucks, as I think that's a 4 and a 6 seed playing each other. This one's the 1 seed and the 6 seed, so there's a potential for 2 6 seeds to be in the Super Bowl. No 7 seeds. We'll sim here, we'll jump forward. Guys hit change of possession. We want to jump forward to the end of the game just to let it get to the 4th. The Chiefs strike first, 3-0. Rodgers gets them down, scores a touchdown. It's 10-7 Chiefs, 17-7 Chiefs, 9-17, 20-9, and it's looking like the Chiefs are going to run away with this one. 27-12, Rodgers makes it 27-19, 34, 34-19, 37-19, and it is over. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl. Yep, the Chiefs end up taking out the Steelers 37-26. They end Aaron Rodgers' Cinderella run. They go 16-2, and the Chiefs are on their way to another Super Bowl. Mike Tomlin and his team fall short. Look at some stats here. Mahomes 24 for 31 for 312 and 2 touchdowns. Rodgers 26 for 36 for 283, 3 touchdowns and 2 picks. Isaiah Pacheco had 44 yards rushing and a touchdown. Jaylen Warren only 21 yards rushing. Rodgers ran the ball 3 times, and so did Caleb Johnson. Receiving, Calvin Austin led the game receiving wise, 12 catches for 121 yards and 2 touchdowns. He didn't lead it. Rashee Rice had 11 catches for 161 yards and 2 touchdowns. Robert Woods for the Steelers, 76 yards and a touchdown. Kelsey had 55, Worthy 68, and DK Metcalf was kind of nowhere to be found in this game, 2 catches for 30 yards. Defensively, Chris Jones led the game in sacks with 1.5. Keanu Benton had 1. George Karlaftis, TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, Beanie Bishop all had 1, and then you had Leo Chanel, Charles Amenahu, and Drew Tranquil with half a sack. And so now we will jump over. We'll just jump on the Rams and B. McVay and see what happens between them and the Bucks. Actually, the Bucks are right there, so I guess we're just gonna jump there. Real life coach, we're now Todd Bowles. So it's looking like much like Madden usually does. They just completely boosted the Chiefs out the ass to where they're just gonna run through everybody, because it doesn't even look like it's remotely been close. They went 16-2 this season, when I don't know who expects the Chiefs to do that good. Don't get me wrong, they're gonna be a playoff team. They're gonna win their division. They're not gonna be 16-2 at this point going into the Super Bowl. Here we go. Starting off, Rams get the ball, go right down the field and score. The Bucks respond with a field goal. They get the ball back, go down the field, make it 10-7 Bucks. 10-10 here going into the 3rd. The Rams score and the game is tied, and we are in the 4th quarter, so it is time to jump in. We jumped in a little bit late into the Rams drive. They're already past midfield. You got Stafford in the shotgun, Kyron Williams to his left, 3 receivers down to the right, or no, 2 on each side. He's dropping back to throw, and he hits Tay Adams over the middle. Stafford's trying to recapture that magic he had a few years back. I think, what year was that? 2020? I can't remember when that was. He's dropping back to throw, though, once again over the middle. He finds, is that Tay Adams again? No, that's Puka. Once again under center, Kyron Williams in the backfield. They're going to run the tight end in what looked like a very bad motion. He dumps it to Kyron right out of the backfield, and that's going to be good for a first down. Stafford's at 2:05 and 2 touchdowns. They're eating this clock. It's down to 4.5 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Under center again, probably going to get a couple run plays in here, and there was a hole there, but that guy came right off the edge. I don't know who that was that came right off the edge there and made that play. In the shotgun now for Stafford. He's dropping back to throw. He has time, and he finds Puka in the middle, who gets lit up by Antoine Winfield, but that's good enough to make it 1st and goal with 3.5 minutes now to go. Like I said, Rams just chewing this clock down, trying to give the Bucks as little time as possible. Play action to Kyron Williams on the bootleg, hits the tight end, who gets them down to the 4, or down to the 3, I guess. Does stop the clock there, can't eat anything else. This might be a handoff to Kyron, but they really need to get this into the end zone. It's actually another play action rollout, and is that Tyler Higbee wide open for the touchdown? Tyler Higbee is going to make this a 7-point game, and now Baker has to come out and respond to try and send his team to the Super Bowl, or Matthew Stafford is on his way to maybe getting a 2nd ring. Pass the kickoff, Baker comes out under center. They do have time to hand it off here with it being 3:20 left in the game, so Bucky Irving in the backfield. He is going to hand it to Bucky, who finds a hole and gets a 12-yard run to open the drive. Great start for the Bucks. Baker in the shotgun now. He's got 2 receivers on each side. It's going to be an RPO. He's going to quick pass that out to Mike Evans and get a yard. He doesn't even get a yard. Now he comes out empty set. Baker rushing 4. He's got to step up, and he actually might take the sack. Baker ends up getting out of that, though, for a 6-yard gain. Baker dropping back, chucks it up wide open is Mike Evans, and Mike Evans is just going to score on a 60-yard touchdown and tie the game. I don't know how he got so wide open. There wasn't a corner within 5 yards of him, but he just ran right down the field. The one guy on this team that you really think you might want to cover, you just let run free. Now, what does Matt Stafford have in store in a tie game? He's in the shotgun. He's going to actually hand it off to Kyron, and that's a good play off the edge by the corner. Not trying to use those timeouts yet. They're running no huddle, 2 receivers to each side. Kyron Williams lined up to the left. Dropping back to throw is Stafford. He had time back there, and he ends up having to throw it away in the direction of Tyler Higbee. There's no grounding. Hassan Reddick came in there and ate him alive. Now on a 3rd and 10 with the NFC Championship game on the line. They come out in an empty set. Puka in the slot. He actually had him open on that out route. He's just going to chuck it up, and he actually beat him, and he caught it. I don't know who that was. Who is 88 on the Rams as a receiver? After that big game, they are in field goal range to take the lead in this game, so they could just hand it to Kyron, and the Bucks have to start taking timeouts now. In the shotgun again, Kyron Williams lined up to the right, trips to the left. It's most likely a handoff. Stafford is actually going to throw it and gets it out quick to Higbee for a gain of 3, which brings them to a 3rd and 3. 3rd and 3 now, minute 17 left. Bucks have no timeouts. You hand this ball off, you let the clock run, you kick the field goal. And Stafford is going to drop back to throw and to throw it out to Kyron, who is going to get the first down. Kyron Williams just sent the Rams to the Super Bowl on that. He broke that tackle, got the first down, and now the Rams most likely are on their way to a Super Bowl pending a blocked field goal. Oh, okay, no. I don't know the point of calling that timeout and not just letting it run down, but that's Madden simulation being Madden simulation. Gonna hand it off to Kyron Williams. Again, finds a hole, and he actually might score a touchdown. Kyron Williams scores a touchdown just for icing on the top. Why not? Make it 31-24, and the Rams are gonna be on their way to a Super Bowl if the Bucks don't return the kick. I don't imagine they're scoring a touchdown in 11 seconds. We'll sim it to the end of the game. This is most likely just one last Hail Mary attempt out of Baker, and if it's complete, who knows? Maybe there's a chance, but I doubt it. It's not college. A first down doesn't stop the ball. Just tries a quick out, and he can't even get out of bounds. That's gonna do it. The game is over. The Los Angeles Rams are on their way to a Super Bowl with an opportunity to get a 2nd ring for Matthew Stafford. Maybe that's enough to lure Aaron Donald out of retirement. We're on the Bucks. No, I gotta switch again. I gotta retire Todd Bowles. We'll just go over to the Chiefs because why not? We already know they're in, and it's going to be them and the Rams in the Super Bowl. Where is the Super Bowl this year? I don't know where it's at. My hope is the Rams can make this a competitive game so we can actually jump in, but the Chiefs just run through everybody. We can also take a look at who the MVPs are. I just got a free trophy, so I'm willing to bet you it's Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is your MVP winner, followed by Jordan Love, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Brock Purdy, Jaden Daniels, all of those guys. I mean, the only ones that they'd tell you are these top 5. Your coach of the year is Kyle Shanahan, followed by Andy Reid. Liam Cohen ends up getting up there along with Aaron Glenn and Sean McDermott. Your AFC Offensive Player of the Year went to Jamar Chase, who beat out Mahomes because, he got MVP. AFC Defensive Player of the Year is Greg Rousseau, followed by Khalil Mack and TJ Watt. Quinnen Williams, Myles Garrett is down here. Patrick Queen was also on the list, so 2 Steelers make that list. Offensive Rookie of the Year, kind of expected, it's Ashton Genty. There's Omarion Hampton, Cam Ward. Shador Sanders ended up starting for the Browns at one point, and Quinshad Judkins is also on there along with Caleb Johnson. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Travis Hunter. That makes sense. Followed by Mason Graham, Demetrius Knight. Your Offensive Player of the Year on the NFC side is Brandon Ayuk, followed by Devonta Smith and Amon-Ra St. Brown and Kyron Williams. Jordan Love is also there. Defensive Player of the Year, Fred Warner, followed by Jalen Carter, Micah Parsons, Jared Verse, and Bobby Okereke. Offensive Rookie of the Year is Ted McMillan. I kind of expect that one. It's him and Emeka Ibuka I'm really high on, especially when it comes to fantasy. Luther Burden's up here too. Cam Scatterbo. Jackson Dart did end up playing for the Giants. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Jalen Walker, followed by Jahad Campbell, Michael Williams. We'll take a look before we go into the Super Bowl at some of our stats leaders from the year. You see Mahomes was 2nd in yards just from us being on the Chiefs. Our stat leaders, Joe Burrow led the league by 400 yards in passing yards, 37 touchdowns, but 12 picks. Touchdowns went to Jordan Love, almost becoming the first quarterback since Peyton Manning to throw for 50 touchdowns. Rushing, McCaffrey ended up leading the league still. He was in that spot all year. He only led by 7 yards, followed by Joe Mixon. Derrick Henry did find a way to climb his way up here, and then Jahmyr Gibbs and Breece Hall are also up here. Leader in touchdowns ends up being Kyron Williams with 19 that closes to assume is Tony Pollard with 15. Receiving, you had Jamar Chase lead the league in yards with almost 1,600 yards and 16 touchdowns, followed by Puka Nacua, who is in the Super Bowl, Brandon Ayuk, Tyreek Hill. Your leader in receiving touchdowns did end up being Brandon Ayuk. Tyler Boyd still stayed here with 19 touchdown catches. Devonta Smith had 20. Your league leader in sacks at the end of the season was in fact Greg Rousseau, who ties the NFL sack record at 22.5, making that a three-way tie. Khalil Mack had 20.5. TJ Watt ends up with 19.5. League leader in interceptions does end up being Travis Hunter, your defensive rookie of the year. Devon Witherspoon also had 6. PQ had 5. Defensive touchdowns, Julian Love was the only player with 2. Then Zion McCollum, Jaquan Brisker, Sauce Gardner all also had 1. And just like that, we're on to the Super Bowl. Your Super Bowl prediction for this year is Chiefs and Rams, which I don't want to see. I wouldn't mind seeing the Rams, but nobody wants to see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl anymore. Here we go. Chiefs are going to get the ball first in the Super Bowl. We'll start this sim. I might jump in more in the third quarter this time just because, you know, it's a Super Bowl. Chiefs go right down the field and score. The Rams go right back. Chiefs may get a field goal. Rams take the lead 14-10. Rams take a 21-10 lead into the half. So here, we'll go play-by-play for a little bit here. Rams get the ball after half. They are starting to run away with this. They take a 2-touchdown lead. Now, what can Mahomes do? Mahomes ends up having to punt the ball, can't put it together. Stafford is leading this team. We're here in the fourth. Mahomes is down 14 with 7:30 left. It's Madden, but somehow Patrick Mahomes will find a way. And he comes out in the shotgun here to start the drive. He's got Travis Kelce split out wide with Rashee Rice. Ends up finding Kelce underneath, but the safety comes up and makes a big play right away there. Once again, in the shotgun, Mahomes is motioning Pacheco out. It is a pass. Mahomes dropping back to throw over the middle, finds that's Xavier Worthy for a first down. He's only got 157 passing going into the fourth. In the shotgun again, Pacheco lined up to his left. You can hand this off, but they're not going to, and he's gonna lob one up. Mahomes should have been intercepted, but I don't know who that is that dropped that. That should have been the Super Bowl right there. He could have taken that all the way to the house. Shotgun again, Mahomes dropping back to throw, has time over the middle, finds Rashee Rice, gets another first down. That dropped interception is the most Chiefs bailout I've ever seen. That was only a gain of 1, so once again out in the shotgun going 5 wide. He's going quick now. Mahomes over the middle. What a dart. That was a dot. So who's that? Hollywood Brown. That was a dot right to Hollywood, right in the middle of the field there, which gets them it down to the 10 basically. It's not first and goal. They can get a first down on the 1-inch line, but they'll probably just get in the end zone on this play. Mahomes is going to roll out and he's just going to run it in himself. And like I said, death, taxes, and Patrick Mahomes finds a way. We're just going to watch this whole fourth quarter with 4.5 minutes left. Stafford on play action is going to throw. Risky call by McVay there, but it's a 9-yard gain. Stafford has 282 and 3 touchdowns, looking like he's going to be Super Bowl MVP if he can lead them to a touchdown here. This time it is play action again, and he gets the defender to bite, and this 88 has been cooking for the Rams. He is the savior right now. I don't know who that is. Now under center, inside the 40, in field goal range to make it a 2-possession game, so no turnovers, and they hand it to 88, and he gets taken down in the backfield. Stafford in the shotgun, Kyron Williams lined up to his left. Chiefs haven't started taking a timeout yet, and that was a good play there. That's Justin Watson, right? That's not Trent McDuffie, that's Watson. On a 3rd and 12, big play. I don't know if they're technically in field goal range. Stafford is dropping back to throw. He had Kyron Williams with a gap there, but he ends up finding Tyler Higbee to get them into field goal range and potentially make this a 2-possession game. And the kick, that was almost blocked, but it's good. And now it's a 2-possession game with 2:20 left. What can Mahomes do? Mahomes has 2:08 to try and score 10 points or more. Is it going to happen? I don't know. They still have all 3 timeouts, but they have to score quick here if they want a chance. Mahomes dropping back. These little dump-offs aren't going to work, especially when Marquise Brown is doing his Deontay Johnson impression. 27-17. The Chiefs have dominated this entire season, and all of a sudden the Rams come in and they are making this look like Matthew Stafford's going to be a 2-time Super Bowl champion. Dropping back, they throw a screen pass to Rashee Rice, who's breaking tackles, and he does get them past the 50, but this isn't college football. Clock doesn't stop when you get a first down. Up to the line quick. He's got Kelce out to his left. Mahomes, you don't have time to look at the sideline. You don't have time for these audibles. Just snap the ball. There he goes, dropping back to throw, quick out, and Rashee Rice is wide open again, and that gets them down to the 20. They really are going to dip Mahomes. It's Patrick Mahomes, dude. In the shotgun again is Mahomes. It's going to be, why are we handing the ball off? What are you doing? No huddle, keeping it going. You just ran the ball and wasted like 10 seconds of clock, and now you're running a motion play when you really just need to snap the ball and get in the end zone. I get you have all 3 timeouts, but holy shit. And on the out route, he hits Xavier Worthy, who's not going to get in, and they waste a timeout there. Horrible clock management by Andy Reid. he wouldn't do this in real life, especially running a handoff in this situation with 2 timeouts down 10 in a Super Bowl like that. Why are you taking the ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hand? Dropping back to throw quick into the end zone. Mahomes is going to be picked off, and the LA Rams are going to be your Super Bowl champions. Let's just let it go. We'll let it play out because I want to watch the celebration, and I want to see them get into victory formation, see if they can get a first down here. It is going to be a handoff to Kyren Williams, who can't get around the edge, and the Chiefs are going to start using those timeouts. Nakua in motion, Kyren Williams handoff, and that is the first down that'll clinch it. The LA Rams are your 2026 Super Bowl champions. I don't know what Super Bowl number we are on. Is this 59? Victory formation ensues. The clock is running down. Matthew Stafford doesn't even have to take another knee. Start celebrating. You can snap it if you want, Matt. Potentially, Matthew Stafford gets to retire and walk off into the sunset, a 2-time Super Bowl champion and 2-time Super Bowl MVP. Or he wasn't Super Bowl MVP. Cooper Kupp was, huh? There's the Gatorade bathroom McVay. That looked like Nickelodeon slime. It doesn't even look like Gatorade this year. The confetti's falling. Everybody's celebrating. There's Matt Stafford. There's Kyren Williams. Mahomes looking on. He just lost another Super Bowl. There's no trophy presentation or anything this year. Stafford had a 143.3 passer rating, 23 for 30, 317, and 3 touchdowns. A perfect game. Almost a perfect game. That's not a perfect passer rating, but it was close. 77 rating for Mahomes as he was 21 for 32, 255, 0 touchdowns, and a pick that we saw at the end. I clinched the game for the Rams. Kyren Williams, 62 yards rushing, no touchdowns. Pacheco had 23 yards and a touchdown, and then Mahomes, we saw him run the one in. Number 88 for the Rams is Jordan Whittington, who had 6 catches for 91 yards leading the game. Nakua had 4 catches for 90 yards and a touchdown, and then Tyler Higbee had the other 2 touchdowns for the Rams. Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce led the Chiefs in receiving. Defensively, there was only 1 sack the whole game, and who other than Chris Jones would be the one to get it? And our 1 interception of the game was Tony Fields the second, picking off Patrick Mahomes to clinch the Super Bowl for the Rams. We'll exit out of the game. It doesn't let you see who Super Bowl MVP is, but I have a guess that it's Matthew Stafford, having 300-something yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, only 7 incompletions the whole game. Our 2025 season recaps. The Rams are now 3-time Super Bowl champions. Your Super Bowl MVP is Matthew Stafford, and Brandon Ayuk is your actual offensive player of the year. Greg Rousseau is the defensive player of the year. Ashton Genty, offensive rookie of the year, and Travis Hunter, defensive rookie of the year. And yeah, Matthew Stafford is now a 2-time Super Bowl champion, a Super Bowl MVP. Put that man in the Hall of Fame. You can see on the right, both Cam Hayward and Aaron Rodgers just retired, which not surprising. So yeah, that's the 2025-2026 season. The Steelers end up winning a playoff game for the first time in 8 years, make it all the way to the AFC Championship game. For the Ravens, Lamar Jackson still continues to struggle in the playoffs. The Texans got bounced in the beginning. Jacksonville made the divisional round. Chargers also made the divisional round, knocking off the Bills, who once again, speaking of not playoff success, Josh Allen once again struggles. Matthew Stafford goes on a legacy run from the 6th seed to the Super Bowl, but it feels good to be back doing Sims. Next, I might be doing some rookies. I might do some of the rookies first. I still got to decide if I'm going to do rookies or if I'm going to go right into the historical ones. If we're going to do historical ones, I have a defensive player in mind that I already had made for Madden 25, but I just never did, so I'm going to do him first if we end up going that route. But I do hope you guys did enjoy, and if you did, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and as always, it's been awesome. Have a good one, guys. Peace out.